Hi everyone, it's Talia Rose. Thank you so much for watching. Today I wanted to talk to you about why I decided to have a home birth. A couple months ago I posted my home birth on YouTube and it did get a lot of views, and it surprised me because I didn't really think it would be something that people would want to watch. And as it started to get a lot of views, I realized that it was something that women were interested in because it isn't the norm and it's not the usual way to give birth to your baby. So I wanted to go over some of my reasons for why I decided to do it that way, since it is a little weird. While it might seem weird to most people, it was something that was always normal for me. It honestly wasn't even really a debate for me whether to have my baby at home or in a hospital, because I had seen my mother give birth to my two younger brothers at home on the bed, unassisted, just us and my dad and her, and that was it. And it was actually a beautiful experience. And I know it might sound scary, and honestly now that I do have a baby, I think unassisted births, meaning having a birth without a midwife, is a little nerve-wracking and maybe not a chance that you should take. Just getting to be a part of that experience and watching my brothers being born and getting to cut their umbilical cord and wrapping them up in blankets as soon as they came out, it was such an amazing experience. And at the time I knew it was an amazing experience, but I didn't know that it was an odd experience. And I really do, now that I'm older, appreciate that I got to be a part of that, and that it was something that I was able to see firsthand as being exciting and fun and natural. So I was able to see firsthand that birth was just a beautiful, intimate experience, and that it is something that your body wants to do and is built and designed to do. It's not a medical emergency. There are very few cases where women do need medical intervention to have a healthy labor and delivery. So except for that small percentage, it is something that actually absolutely can be done at home, and in some cases it can even be a smoother, easier process just being in the comfort of your own home. Now, even though I wanted to have a home birth and I was able to witness firsthand just the beauty and ease of having a home birth, I had to convince my husband, and I wanted his family on board with the decision because I didn't want them to be worried about the process, and I didn't want to be surrounded by people that were anxious and trying to talk me out of it, because I knew it was going to be hard enough as is to give birth in my house, and I wanted to have everybody that was there to be supportive and to know why I was doing it and to even help keep me motivated when things got hard. It was at that time that I found the documentary Business of Being Born, done by Ricky Lake, and it just kind of explored the business behind hospital births and how hospitals very much are run like a business, and why they like to have births the way that they do, because many of the methods that they use in hospitals women just assume are for the good of the mother and the baby, but it's not. It's very much for the good of the hospital and the doctor and the ease, and they want women in and out, and started to look at the reasons behind a lot of the hospital's methods. I was able to then articulate my reasons for wanting a home birth in a fashion that had a little more grip than just I saw my mom do it, so I want to do it. So as I started to do some more research on having a home birth versus a hospital birth, I really started to build my case for why I did want to have a home birth, and a lot of the reasons why I wanted to have a home birth actually changed, and I was glad that I was able to see my mom do it at home, have a first-hand experience. But I was also really glad to just grip myself with information and facts and figures also. So I read a couple books. Ida Mae Gaskin, who is a midwife down in the South, she's like a guru of home birth, and she's amazing. So I read some of her literature. I saw The Business of Being Born too. I actually got to go to the premiere, talk to Ricky Lake, so that was really encouraging and helpful. And so as I found more and more that there were other people out there that had the same mindset as me, I was really glad that I was able to surround myself with a support community that kind of thought the same way that I did. I also found an amazing midwife, Renee, who was really supportive and able to just come along beside me and support the reasons behind my decision, and even help me discover some new reasons why having a home birth would be good. Now I knew that even if I couldn't have a home birth, that I knew for sure I wanted to have my baby naturally, because I did do research on the different inducers that hospitals use, and then the epidural and all the effects that that has on the baby and the mother, and I just thought that to me it wasn't worth it, and the risk that it can put your baby in and you. And the doctors do go over the risk of an epidural and Pitocin and other drugs like that they commonly use during labor. They tend to kind of breeze past it just because it is so commonly used, and it's just understood that, well, yeah, if a woman is able to get an epidural, then she will. But there's just so many complications that can happen and so many side effects that women don't really take into consideration because they're so afraid of labor. And hospitals, I feel like, have kind of made labor and delivery a medical emergency and something that is wrong and needs treatment. But that's not the case. And I felt that my body, if I trusted it and let it do what it was supposed to do, that I would have a healthy baby. And I really did trust my body and its ability to have a baby healthily and naturally, and I didn't want to be under the influence and control of a doctor and nurses trying to convince me otherwise. Now, another reason that's going to sound a little funny and weird, I really did feel that my baby would come out faster and more comfortably at home, because there's something that doctors refer to as the sphincter law, and they will say that it exists in relation to bathroom use, but not so much for labor. Well, sphincters are just circular muscles, and so your mouth is a sphincter and your eyes are sphincters, and you've got other sphincters. Baby comes out a sphincter, and when you go to the bathroom, it comes out a sphincter. So there's lots of sphincters in your body, and the sphincter law says that when a person is at ease and comfortable in a setting that they feel safe in, muscles or sphincters even will relax and open up, so it's easier to do whatever you needed to do. So specifically in going to the bathroom, let's say you're in a public restroom and you really need to go, and there's someone in the stall next to you, your sphincter might tighten up, and you're gonna have a much harder time getting done what you needed to get done. Well, I know it's kind of crude to relate it to giving birth, but it's a similar concept in that when you're trying to get a baby out a sphincter that's only like this, and then the odds are already stacked against you because it's a small sphincter and you're sticking a big baby out of it. I just knew that being in a hospital, in a room potentially with several other women, you know, screaming or yelling or whatever, and, you know, interns coming in and out and writing little notes about your labor, and, you know, knowing that they're going to go home and tell their family about, oh my gosh, this girl was just pushing this huge baby out. I didn't want to be a part of that, and I didn't want nurses coming in and out and people just looking at your hoo-ha and you not even knowing what's going on. So I really do feel like your body can tend to fight against that. And even though you're in labor and you think, well, oh, I won't be concerned about people looking at my hoo-ha, it is something that still crosses your mind and you're still coherent. So yeah, it definitely does have a part to play. And I just felt that being at home, either in my own bed or in a tub like I had set up, I was able to do a water birth. I just thought that would be so much more relaxing and peaceful, and it was. My labor and delivery was 4 hours long. It went really fast comparatively to what other women experience. And I feel that that was all due in part because I was able to trust my body to let it do what it was supposed to do. I didn't fight the contractions and think, oh no, pain, ooh, bad. I thought, oh, pain, good. The contractions are opening up my body and preparing to get the baby out. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to let it do what it's supposed to do. And I had that baby fast. And yes, there's pain, but your body can handle it. And it never got to the point where it was like, oh no, too much. Put the brake, like, time out, I can't do this. I can do this. And so you just need to wrap your mind around, yes, you can do this. The pain in labor has a point, and it's to open you up. Don't fight against it. It's not a bad thing. It's not something that is going to kill you. It's a good thing. And so when you're able to change your mindset to just kind of giving up and not fighting it, it's kind of a peaceful, relaxing thing in a way, and you're excited because you're about ready to meet your baby for the first time. I was really, really happy with my home birth experience, and yes, it was painful. Yes, I did tear, and I had to be sewn up on my couch with no medication. It hurt, but I got to hold my baby while my midwife sewed me up, so that helped for sure because he was cute, and you're just, you know, excited. And women do say, oh, you're so excited you don't feel any pain after. Well, it did hurt after, but again, it's never too much for you to handle, and I definitely want all the rest of my children done at home because it was a beautiful, peaceful experience. Depending on your insurance, it can often be a much cheaper option to have your baby at home, but for us it actually ended up being a little bit more expensive. It was about $5,000 to have the baby at home with our midwife, and if you were to do it in the hospital, it would have been mostly covered by our insurance, but I wanted it that bad, and I'm a penny pincher, so you know that if I was willing to dish out $5,000, that it was really worth it to me, and it was worth every penny to have my baby at home. And I don't think that I would do an unassisted birth. I would definitely recommend having a midwife there because they can check for all the red flags and they know what to look for. So I felt very much like I was in good hands because if there was anything that was going to go wrong in my pregnancy, they were going to be able to tell before it happened and then get me to the doctor if needed and get the treatment that was necessary. But again, I wasn't really worried about that. And just the idea that I didn't have to rush to the hospital right when labor started was amazing, and it was so freeing because I wasn't worried, what stage of labor am I? Oh no, my water broke, okay, well, let's rush out the door. I was able to be like, yay, okay, my water broke, call your parents, call them on over. And they brought food, and I was eating a Tommy Chili's cheeseburger right up until the baby pushed out, and my husband attributes to the baby sliding out so fast because I did eat a chili cheeseburger right before he popped out. But I was able to eat food and drink water, so I had the energy and the stamina to be able to endure the labor and to push them out and to get through it. In hospitals, they don't even let you drink water. They let you like suck on wet rags. Women often think that the reason hospitals don't let you eat and drink is because you're just not supposed to during labor, but you absolutely are. You're running like the marathon of your life, and to not give your body the food and water necessary to keep on going and to give you the energy is stupid. But hospitals, just in case they have to do an emergency C-section, don't want food and water in the stomach as they're ripping you open. The hospital just does a lot of things like that that are really only good for them, including the position that you're laying in when you're giving labor. So many other things. But anyway, I would have to say is if you are interested in doing a home birth, do a lot of research. Really put yourself in the mindset of how you're going to react when you are giving birth, and if you're not 100% convinced that you want a home birth, then don't do it. Have your baby wherever you feel most comfortable. For me, that was at home. I had seen my mom give birth at home. It was a beautiful experience. I knew that I wanted my baby at home, and I had a lot of research under my belt, and all the facts and figures I felt like were on my side. So I was the most comfortable at home, and I would have been very uncomfortable had I been at the hospital. So likewise, if you're going to be uncomfortable at home, don't do it. You want to have your baby wherever you feel safest. And if that's safe haven for you, if you picture that and that's just at the hospital, then go and do it and feel no shame and go get the epidural. But just for me and my personality and the research that I'd done, everything pointed to home birth, and all the stars aligned. It was a great experience. There was a lot of exciting, fun things that happened, like lightning induced my labor. My house was literally struck by lightning, and that broke my water. And so there's a lot of fun things like that, and I'll have to do a video just all on what actually happened with the home birth, because the video really only shows me pushing the baby out, but there was a lot that led up to that that was really fun and kind of crazy. But anyway, if you are considering doing a home birth, then God bless you. Do lots of research, and honestly, if you want to email me, I'd love to give you some advice and to be a cheerleader for you as you go on this adventure, because honestly you can face a lot of opposition when you tell people, because the general public don't really like the idea of having home birth. It's unconventional and it seems weird and hippie, and like you're either lazy or you're trying to make some weird statement. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks, bye. Harvey, say hi. Hi. See, thanks